Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. Most people think the soda wars are about flavor. They're actually about a massive corporate panic attack. In the 1970s, Pepsi was the underdog, so they launched the Pepsi Challenge, a blind taste test in malls across America. The result? People consistently picked the sweeter taste of Pepsi. This terrified Coca-Cola so much that they did the unthinkable. They changed their 99-year-old secret recipe. They called it New Coke. It was the biggest marketing fail in history. People protested in the streets, and some even started hoarding old Coke cans like they were gold bars. Within 79 days, Coke surrendered and brought back the original classic formula. Ironically, the drama gave Coke so much free hype that they actually ended up outselling Pepsi anyway. Sometimes failing is the best way to win. Adidas versus Puma. Most business rivalries are about money. This one was about a family dinner gone horribly wrong. Meet Adi and Rudi Dassler. In the 1920s, they ran the most successful shoe company in Germany. But during World War II, a massive argument, possibly over a misunderstanding in a bomb shelter, turned them into lifelong enemies. They didn't just quit, they split the company. Adi took his half and called it Adidas. Rudi moved across the river and started Puma. The town of Herzogenaurach became a literal battleground. If you worked for Adidas, you couldn't date someone from Puma. Local shops only served one side. It was known as the town of bent necks because people would look at your shoes before even saying hello. The peak pettiness? When the brothers died, they were buried in the same cemetery, but at opposite ends, as far away from each other as possible. Today, they are multi-billion-dollar giants, but the logos on your feet started because two brothers simply couldn't stand the sight of each other. Nintendo versus SEGA. In 1990, Nintendo wasn't just a gaming company, they were the gaming company. They owned 90% of the market and treated video games like toys for 8-year-olds. Then came SEGA. They didn't just want to sell consoles, they wanted to start a fight. They launched a marketing campaign so savage it changed the industry forever. Their marketing slogan was legendary: Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Their commercials were brutal. They showed a Sega Genesis blasting past a slow, boring Nintendo console, positioning themselves as the cool choice for teenagers who were too old for Mario. They even created Sonic the Hedgehog specifically to be faster, louder, and edgier. This forced Nintendo to stop playing it safe. It's the reason we eventually got more mature games and better hardware. This rivalry is the blueprint for every console war we see today. Without Sega's toxic competition, your favorite games might still look like they were made for toddlers. It turns out a little bit of toxic competition is exactly what the world needed. McDonald's versus Burger King. For decades, McDonald's was the untouchable king of fast food. Then, in 1974, Burger King decided to stop being polite and started a marketing riot. This wasn't just a business rivalry. It was an all-out assault on the Golden Arches. They launched the Have It Your Way campaign, directly mocking McDonald's rigid assembly line. The message was simple: at McDonald's, you're just a number. At Burger King, you're the boss. By the 80s, it turned into a legal fistfight. Burger King aired a commercial featuring a young Sarah Michelle Gellar claiming their burgers were 20% larger and flame-broiled, while McDonald's fried theirs. McDonald's was so furious they actually sued Burger King for false advertising. They even tried to get the commercials banned from TV. It didn't work. The lawsuit only gave Burger King millions in free publicity. This was the birth of attack advertising. Today, Burger King's marketing is basically high-level trolling. In 2018, they offered a 1-cent Whopper, but there was a catch. You will unlock the coupon only if you ordered it while standing inside a McDonald's. Despite the jokes, McDonald's still doubles BK's revenue. Ford versus Ferrari. In 1963, Henry Ford II tried to buy Ferrari to save his struggling brand. At the very last second, Enzo Ferrari backed out because he didn't want to lose control of his racing team. He even insulted Henry Ford's pride along the way. Enraged, Ford didn't just walk away. He went to his engineers and told them, "Build me a car that will crush Ferrari at Le Mans." He didn't care about the cost. Ford spent roughly $25 million in 1960s money just to win a single race. In 1966, the Ford GT40 didn't just win, it took first, second, and third place, leaving Ferrari in the dust. It remains the most expensive revenge project in automotive history. Ferrari never won Le Mans again for decades. It's the ultimate lesson. Never insult a billionaire with a manufacturing plant and a grudge. Apple versus Microsoft. The greatest tech war in history started with a burglary. In the 80s, Steve Jobs accused Bill Gates of stealing the visual interface from Apple to create Windows. Jobs was furious, claiming he had the idea first. But there was a secret. Neither of them actually invented it. They both borrowed the idea from a company called Xerox. When Jobs yelled at Gates for stealing, Gates famously replied, "It's like we both had this rich neighbor named Xerox, and I broke into his house to steal the TV set and found out that you had already stolen it." Microsoft eventually won the market share war. Then 1997 happened. Apple was weeks away from dying, and who saved them? Microsoft. Bill Gates invested $150 million to keep Apple alive. Why? Because he didn't want a monopoly lawsuit. Apple used that money to build the iPod and the iPhone, eventually becoming the most valuable company on Earth. They were enemies who literally couldn't exist without each other.